Welcome back to the Nolan Built YouTube channel. I'm Nolan, and today we're here to talk about, can you take your woodworking side hustle or hobby to a full-time business? And I just want to put a disclaimer out there. I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. This is not business advice. This is me sharing my opinions on what I did and hoping that maybe it can help you ask yourself some questions or give you some insight on the decisions that you're thinking about doing. Also, this video is not going to cover everything. There are going to be some things that are going to be specific to you, or just some things that I missed. So if you have those suggestions, please leave them in the comments. Maybe I need to go back and figure out some things, or maybe there needs to be a second part to this video that I can go back and take some of you guys' comments and put it together in another video. So if you have suggestions on things that you feel like I missed in this video, please leave them below. So let's get into it. One of the first things that I did when I made my move from hobbyist to full-time was getting to know what my portion of the household expenses were. What did I need to cover? How much money did I need to make in order to make this move? So one of the first expenses, and sometimes one of the most unexpected expense, is insurance. A lot of times we go from full-time jobs and it's already included and taken out of your check, and you really don't think about it. So that is one of the biggest things to think about when you're going to go and leave a job that is paying that cost, or paying a portion of that cost, and you're going to move into your own business and your own entrepreneurship, is insurance. And with insurance, you want to go out and get you a couple of quotes if you're single, or if you're married, you can go out and check to see how much it would cost to get on your spouse's insurance if they have insurance. I particularly went and got on my spouse's insurance. I was on her insurance for about a year before I made my jump, and that allowed us to get used to the numbers that we will be seeing when I made my move. The next topic we want to jump into is savings. This is going to be a quick one because it's a pretty simple question. Do you or do you not have a savings? How much of a savings do you have? I suggest 3 to 6 months, sometimes even more than that. And what that's going to do is allow you to feel a little bit more comfortable if something goes wrong, say a hot water heater or air conditioning unit, whatever it may be, your wife's husband lose their job, whatever it may be. Do you have something to hold you up long enough for you to make some decisions to get back on your feet? All right, next up is your shop ready to go full-time based on the equipment you have today? Or do you have plans to upgrade the equipment once you go full-time, and what are the leads on those pieces of equipment? How long is it going to take for you to actually get them? When I made my jump, I did not have everything I wanted. I did buy some things when I made my jump to prepare for what I wanted to do in my business, but there was also some things that I was not able to get because life happens and I had to adjust. So some of the basic things you're going to want to consider when you're going from hobbyist to full-time is that, one, you're going to be running some of your tools a lot more than you used to. So that's going to mean your consumables and maintenance items are going to need to be replaced more often, and you want to think about actually stocking up on some of these things before you make that jump. So that includes saw blades, planer blades, bandsaw blades, sandpaper, glue, and a number of other things that you use on a day-to-day basis. All right, so the next big question is, am I making enough money as a side hustle to cover my household expenses right now? And if you are, then you might be good to go as far as making this transition. If not, say you're at 75% of that number or 50% of that number, you want to ask yourself, why am I not making the amount of money that I want to? And can it be improved on if I had more time? So right now you're working a job and working a side hustle. If you had more time, would you make more money? Do you have any proof of this? And one way to prove it is take an extended leave of vacation, say 1 to 3 weeks, and see just how much work you can put out. And another question you might want to ask yourself is, are you losing money based on not being able to keep up with the amount of requests that you're getting? So are you losing money because you're having to turn down jobs, or are you losing money because the amount of work that you're getting you can't keep up with? And that's going to lead right into the next question, which is, do you have a backlog? I know when I was making this transition, I wanted to have at least 6 months to a year backlog of work. That way I knew I had some form of income coming in before I made my jump. And when you're considering your backlog, you might want to take into consideration that your backlog right now might be based on your part-time hours. And so your 6 months backlog might actually be 3 months if when you make the jump, your production doubles. All right, the next question you're going to want to ask yourself is, have I put together what I believe my business expenses are going to be? One thing a lot of people don't take into consideration is you're going to spend more time out in your shop, in your garage, doing whatever you're doing, and that is going to run up some of the bills that you wouldn't think about. So your electricity, your water, how much food you're going to consume, those things are going to increase. And depending on how you have your business set up, it can vary, but you're going to want to have what your monthly business expenses are already. So let's say you got business insurance, you got a website, you got software you're paying for to design in, you got a number of different things. Whatever you have now or whatever you feel like you're going to need in the future, you're going to want to kind of put that in a spreadsheet and kind of have that meshed into your overall number, that plus your household expenses. And you're going to need to know whether or not you can swing all of that. And do you have enough savings to, say, if you have a slow month, to cover it? And you're also going to need to prioritize if something needs to get cut out, which one is going to get cut out first. All right, so the next one is not something you necessarily need, but it did help me out when I was trying to make my decision. And it was something simple. I basically did a pros and cons list based on what I was doing, how it would affect my family, and how much my dream or chasing my dream meant to me. So I basically weighed the pros and cons of, if I stay at my day job, what are the pros and cons? If I did my dream, chased my dream and went full time, what are the pros and cons? And then I weighed those two, and for me, well, you see the results. I chose to chase my dreams. So that's something you will have to choose for yourself, and hopefully you make the right decision. I can't tell you right or wrong. I can't tell you right or wrong any of these things, but I'm just here to give you some ideas or some things to think about when you're trying to make this decision, and you're trying to present this decision maybe to your better half, your spouse. So, and just to go ahead and say it, put it out there, if your spouse is not down with this, it is a no-go. Like, this is not something you want to do just because this is something you want to do. If my wife was not on board, I would have nixed it. It would have been a hobby, and I would have just did it for fun. But she supported me the entire time, and she was actually like, to the point where she was like, man, I mean, we've been planning for this for years. You're the only thing that's holding you back right now. So another question that I considered before I made the jump is, what is the vision for my business? For me, it couldn't just be I want to be able to woodwork and make a living off of woodworking. That wasn't, specific enough. I needed to have something to strive for, and I needed to know where I wanted to take my business in order for me to have something that I was working towards. Because just working randomly on random things and just doing enough to get by is good for a little while, but when things get a little rough, you have nothing to really refocus your energy to. Not having a vision is gonna cause some trouble down the road. So make sure you have a vision for what you want to do in your business and where you want to take your business and what you picture it as in the future, because that's going to allow you to make decisions based on that direction. All right, last but not least, probably should be first, but the question is have you prayed about it? Don't know what your religious beliefs are, and but I'm gonna let you know what mine are. I believe in Jesus Christ, and I prayed on mine. I prayed on mine every day for 3 years straight. It was something that I wanted, and I really believe that it really came down to the point where I was really just being in my own way. I think God had made all the provisions for me to make this jump, and I was really just not acting in faith. I was not believing that he could do what I had been asking him to do. So if I wasn't believing that, then why would he ever give it to me? So I believe it honestly took me to take that leap of faith in order for it to actually happen. Yeah, I'm a year and a half, almost 2 years in, and he's been carrying me the entire time. When I made the jump, I didn't have everything lined up. As much as I tried to plan, as much as I tried to do what I'm talking about now, I still feel like I missed some things. I still feel like I wasn't quite ready. I still had all these doubts, but at the end of the day, I stepped out on faith, and he answered my prayers, and he's been answering every day. I still pray about my business every day. I still pray every day for prosperity, and Lord behold, he's been blessing me and holding me up, and I'm really appreciative to it. So I couldn't go doing this video without saying thank you, and mentioning him that all this is because he allows it. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. If you like the video, like it. Please leave some comments. If you got questions, I can always chat it up and talk about my experience and the things I've been through and went through with you in the comments, or over on Instagram. But yeah, so like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys on the next one.